You got a lot of production from the bench today, and you did it in the day with Pete being out. So what are your thoughts on how those guys played and the energy they gave you? Not just the production, but the energy they gave you.
I did. I thought they were fantastic. I really do. You know, one of the things that we talked about that we just need is we need energy, consistent energy, and consistent production coming off the bench. And I thought Puff was really good. DeMarco, Jalen, Justin, whoever came off the bench, I thought they brought energy, they brought life, solid plays on both ends of the floor, and you know that's what we need. And they played extremely well today, and I was really proud of them.
What went into Seth getting the start in Pete's place?
Well, one of the things that we thought about was how can we match up with them defensively. Like, so in terms of my decisions on who to start the game, which doesn't for me really mean much. You know, I don't put a lot into starting at all, but what I was thinking was what could start us off in the best position defensively in terms to match up with them. And so Seth is a gifted defender. He played extremely well in the Wake Forest game, and we felt like we wanted to start the game like that.
You mentioned Puff, huge game for him, season high 11 points. What did you like about what he did, and what do you think his role can be for this team? What would you like his role to be for this team?
Well, what I loved about his game today was, you know, for him, it's he made shots today, but what Puff we need him to consistently bring is that energy and that effort on both ends of the floor. He's like one of those guys that just get those 50-50 loose balls. He's a great offensive rebounder, and so that's an area where we desperately need to improve in terms of getting second chance opportunities. He's a guy with size that can play multiple positions, and we just need him out there to play consistent and to play well, and he played extremely well today, and I was really happy for him.
Is there any sort of update on Pete you can give us?
Yeah, he's like gets dramatically better every day, but he wasn't well enough to play today. So my hope is that he'll be ready to practice tomorrow. If not tomorrow, my expectation and hope is he'll practice on Monday and then be ready for Tuesday. But the thing with his back, there's two things. One, they had to get it to a place where the muscles would, relax. We're there now. Now just trying to keep his hips stable and aligned. That's the thing held in place. And so if it can continue to be held in place, then that's the final step for him to play. And my hope is he'll be ready against Virginia on Tuesday night.
You guys really picked it up defensively the last 10 minutes against Wake Forest. It seemed like today was a carryover to that. How happy were you to see that?
I really was. One of the things that I told the team, particularly against Notre Dame, is that, and for everybody, but, we have to win our one-on-one matchups. And there has to be a competitive nature, a pride of I can guard my guy and I don't need any help. And I felt like everybody that played today took that challenge and really won their one-on-one matchup, and that helped us so much defensively from the standpoint of we didn't have to help. One of the things with Notre Dame is where they are so good at is when they get teams into rotations off a drive and kick, they're brilliant at it. And so, today, because of our one-on-one defense, we weren't in a lot of rotations, and for a team that shoots a lot of threes, I think they only took 18 threes today. It was because of our individual one-on-one defense and how good it was today.
Caleb and RJ spoke about how easy they felt it was on the court because of Seth's ability to facilitate and find the open passes, the open lanes. Can you elaborate on what you've been seeing from him in practice, and also if a performance like this earned him a spot in the starting five, maybe in the next game?
Well, one of the things that I love about Seth is many things. We've talked about how good he is on the defensive end and how gifted he is in guarding the ball. He's extremely athletic and quick, and he has the ability to defend as you can see, even bigger offensive players, it's very difficult to even post them up. And so he's really special on that end. And then on the offensive end, I think he's becoming more comfortable and more confident in terms of his ability to be able to get to the basket. And once he gets to the basket, he can use his athleticism to be able to create a shot for himself and also his teammates. And so when he's on the floor with RJ and Caleb, now you've got three playmakers, three guys off the bounce, one-on-one situations that can create a shot for themselves and for their teammates. And so that's good news for us offensively and bad news for the opponent.
Hubert, what have you
Caleb
seen?
stand up for
One at a
Puff
time.
after the dunk?
Huh?
Be happy to see Caleb stand up after the Puff dunk and the flagrant foul.
Yeah, I didn't see much of it. I don't like technical fouls, but I love our team standing up for each other, and Caleb standing up for Puff. I support that. I encourage that. I can every day, and that's what one of the many things that makes Caleb such a great teammate. So.
Hubert, what would you attribute Armando? He seems like he's handling double teams a lot better than he
is.
was earlier.
He is. We
what-
worked on it. We worked on it because at the beginning of the year it was a little shaky, and every day at practice over the last 2 weeks we've worked on it. We've just put together just basic drills just to work on it, individual workout. We've worked on it to get him more comfortable. One, when the double team comes. We've also worked with him in terms of getting him more comfortable where it comes from, whether it comes from the top or the baseline. And then we've gotten him more comfortable at where his outlets are, where the guys are gonna be, so that when a double team comes, he knows exactly where his teammates are gonna be, so he can pass the ball out of the post. I think a great example of that, it was in the second half when he made the cross-court pass to RJ. I don't think that's something that he could have made at the beginning of the year. Today, he was able to make it, and RJ had a wide-open three.
Do you have to tweak that going into Virginia, knowing that normally it's two bigs
No,
that are
take
doing
a
the
big-
double?
Yeah, we'll tweak it.
We'll email it to you.
We'll take a look. They double big to big.
And how much, I had the same thought as CL, so I must be doing something right. How much has that maybe helped you guys not get stuck? Armando's recognition of the double teams, passing out, he's got 9 assists the last 2 games.
That helps. That helps.
How does it keep you from getting stuck sometimes, I feel like?
Oh, by working on it?
Offensively, I'm saying like to get the ball moving and
Well, it is, there's a number of parts, like in the first half, I'll give you an example where we didn't do it really well. He got double teamed in the post and everybody was spacing. Armando, I was open, but there was nobody cutting towards him. And so during the 30-second timeout, we talked about spacing, but we also talked about giving him an outlet. Well, the next time down, they double teamed, and that's when we hit Puff on the baseline. He was able to get that and one with the left-hand jump hook. And so there's growth there, and we're getting better, and Armando's getting better at recognizing when it's coming, where it's coming. And we've also tweaked and pivoted and adjusted some of our plays to put him in positions where he can't get double teamed. And so that's stuff that we've worked on and talked about as well.
do you have designated, you're talking about drilling it in practice?
Yes.
Do you have designated double teamers, or they're like 2 guys that are always
Well,
in charge of that?
no, it's like really scripted. I mean, it's like 5-on-5, and we know it's coming from the top. 5-on-5, we know it's coming from the bottom, and just to get him a little bit more familiar of where it's coming from, and then in individual work, just the footwork for him to be able to retreat, dribble, face up to his players so that he can clearly see how to get the ball out of the double team. And we also encourage him this: there's no double team if you really post deep in the paint. And so if you get closer to the basket, by the time they double team, it's already 2 points. So we've encouraged him to do that if you don't want to get double teamed.
You've spoken a lot about Seth and Puff in the last few minutes, and I'm reminded at the start of the year you said a big emphasis was making sure you had a wider rotation this year.
Yeah.
How good do you feel about that rotation and how wide it can be as you move forward?
Well, I think I like how many more guys that we're playing. I mean, The other game was at Wake Forest, we played 10 guys. Tonight, we played 9. And so, in order, I'll tell you this, and I said this to you guys before, there were 2 games last year where I felt like we were tired. And it was not the reason why we lost. The Virginia Tech in the ACC tournament and Kansas International Championship game. And for us to be the best team for us to become, we have to have depth and we have to have guys that can come off the bench and give us consistent minutes. I think the cool thing about our team, it can come in many different directions. You know, today it was Puff and DeMarco. The other night it was Justin and Jalen. The next day it could be, Dontrez and Tyler. And so, as I said before, I'm an opportunity coach. You will always get a chance with me. Plain and simple, period, the end. I just cannot guarantee you when, where, how, and the manner in which. So that when your number is called win, you have to be ready. And we have a team of guys that when their number is called, they'll be ready to perform.
Hubert, a couple more. After the Wake Forest game, Nance and I talk a lot about the 3-guard lineup, talk a lot about Armando. What do you like about Leaky, especially offensively, as the connective guy when he's playing the 4 between those 2?
Yeah, I like when he's aggressive. I do. You know, he's the best individual defender in the country, but I like when he's aggressive as well. You know, I like when he attacks the basket because he's long and he's athletic, and you know, when he's open, I want him shooting the basketball. And one of the places that he feels really comfortable is that corner 3. And so, you know, in our sets and our plays, a lot of times we have him right there where he feels most comfortable. And if he's open, I want him to shoot the ball. You know, because the more that Leaky doesn't take bad shots. You know, I tell people to be aggressive. You know, sometimes you tell somebody aggressive and you're like, whoa, you know, because they get all over the place. But for guys like Leaky, like he takes good shots. And so that's what we want for him. We want him to be aggressive on the offensive end. And latter part of the second half, he made some, definitive moves on the offensive end, and it really helped us.
Take one more if there is one.
Coach, overall, looking at this past week and the 2 wins, what can you say about this team's response?
From the Pitt game?
From the Pitt game to now,
Yeah.
sorry, I should have clarified
Well, yeah, no, one of the things that I love about our guys is that we always get back up. And it's something that I talk to them about a lot, that in basketball this year with this team and in life, you're gonna get knocked down. And you're gonna have rainy days and speed bumps and potholes, and you can whine and complain and make excuses and point fingers and stay down, or you can get back up and continue to compete, continue to fight, and continue to get better. And this team always has responded in that way. And so I would take it even further, you know, not just a response from the Pitt game, I would take it even further from the 4 games that we lost, and now we've won 6 out of 7. And so, does that mean to stop? No. But that's a sign of a tough team, a resilient team, and that's the type of team that I love being associated and being around.
Coach, thank you very much.
Thanks, Sue.